A client once described to me something that perfectly describes what so many people experience. She said, people have spent years telling me what I needed to do. Set boundaries, believe in myself, stop people-pleasing, and trust myself more. But nobody ever showed me how. And honestly, I think a lot of people can relate to that. You've probably experienced advice from your friends, family, books, podcasts, coaches, and experts. Most people have no shortage of opinions when it comes to telling you what you should do. But the real question is, how do you actually change that pattern? How do you move from understanding something intellectually to actually living it consistently? That is why I created the Kokoro Repatterning method. Many personal development programs focus heavily on awareness, and awareness is important, but awareness alone doesn't automatically create change. Knowing what you should do to trust yourself isn't the same thing as actually trusting yourself. Knowing what you should do to set boundaries isn't the same thing as actually setting them when you're afraid someone else will be disappointed, hurt, or angry. Knowing how you should stay calm isn't the same thing as staying calm when emotions are running high. Most people don't need more information. They already know exactly what they should do. The challenge is learning how to create change in a new pattern that becomes available when real life happens. Because under pressure, people don't automatically do what they know. They tend to return to patterns that are familiar. And if old patterns have been practiced for years, they often continue to show up automatically, even when we might want something different. The Kokoro Repatterning method was designed to bridge that gap, not by giving you more advice, not by trying to fix you, and not by creating dependence on a coach, expert, or a program. Instead, it provides a structured process to help you practice new emotional, mental, and behavioral patterns until they become accessible in your everyday life. The method guides you through learning how to recognize old patterns, clarify personal values, strengthen identity, reconnect to desired outcomes, regulate your emotions, build self-trust, and take aligned action, even when it feels scary. Because lasting change doesn't happen when someone tells you what you should do. Lasting change happens when you learn how to practice becoming the person you want to be and finding those answers inside of yourself. One of the most important outcomes of this process is self-trust, not blind confidence, not pushing your way through, not pretending that everything is okay. Real self-trust, the kind that develops when your actions become increasingly aligned with your values. Many people have spent so many years looking outside of themselves for answers, someone that can rescue them or fix them. And while that guidance can be helpful, eventually there comes a point where growth requires learning how to trust your own judgment. Through the Kokoro Repatterning method, people learn how to recognize what matters most to them, to clarify who they want to become, to listen to themselves more deeply, to make decisions from alignment rather than fear, and to follow through on commitments to themselves. Every time you take aligned action, you create evidence. That evidence builds trust, and over time, trusting yourself becomes the new pattern. The word kokoro in Japanese is the one word that describes the integration of heart, body, mind, and soul. Because lasting fulfillment doesn't come from constantly fighting yourself. It comes from learning how to bring those parts of yourself into alignment. When your values, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions begin to work together, life starts feeling different. Not necessarily easier, but clearer, more grounded, and authentic. Over time, people begin noticing meaningful shifts in everyday life. Our clients often find themselves pausing instead of reacting, recovering more quickly after emotional setbacks, feeling clearer during difficult conversations, following through more consistently, setting healthier boundaries, making decisions with greater confidence, staying connected to themselves under pressure, and trusting themselves more deeply, not because someone else gave them the perfect answer, but because they learned how to build that relationship with themselves, one that is built on awareness, practice, and alignment to help you experience self-trust. The goal of the Kokoro Repatterning method is not only to teach you how to think, but to teach you how to create true, lasting change in your life. How to recognize those old patterns, how to reconnect in the moment with what matters most, and how to continue to take aligned action even when life feels uncertain. Because you don't rise under pressure, you default to what you have trained. If you are ready to strengthen new patterns, create more calm, clarity, and self-trust, I would love to support you. You can book a private mental fitness session at kokorocreators.com.